Good morning. Today we're going to talk about a way to boost energy. And guess what? It's going to be about beets. I know, nobody likes a good beet, but here we go. This actually works really well for me now that my blood vessels are cleaned out. I've done some cleansing and nutrients are actually getting up into my cells. So let's start with a little bit of butter. And let that melt. And by the way, we're not doing vegan, non-vegan, anything. We're just doing a recipe and you can adapt it to what works best for you, if you don't mind. So one of the reasons we're doing this is that beets contain nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is an oxygen uptake facilitator, for lack of a better word or words. And when I do this, I do notice a little bit more of a spark, I don't know, half hour, a couple hours later. And you're going, how do you know? Well, hold on one second. I can actually test my nitric oxide uptake, not my oxygen, but nitric oxide uptake with these little guys. This is a little nitric oxide test strip. Now, don't be grossed out by this, but when I had cancer, I couldn't make these turn bright pink to save my life. It was a couple of years, and it wasn't until I started to clean out my blood vessels that it really worked. But look at that. I know it's silly, but this is a huge accomplishment for a 70-year-old woman, trust me. Now here's the thing, before I got this, over the last couple of years, I'd be in a restaurant or I'd be checking out at a grocery and people would say, I'm just so tired. And I had these in my purse. And a couple of times I said, well, you want to see how your oxygen's doing? Because inadvertently you're testing your oxygen uptake. And so they would do it. And what shocked me is they tested low as well. Unbelievable. How can that be? But there you have it. So this is a great goal to have. And these are humans nitric oxide test strips. I still use them because when I get tired, the first thing I look at is this, and they help keep me on track. All right, so we're gonna throw some onions in here and saute. And this, by the way, is what an onion looks like in case you've not been cooking lately. And this is what's called a beet. I don't think I've ever cooked with a beet until the last 2 months. But I've been buying, nutraceutical products that are made primarily of beet, and they're really expensive. And I keep thinking of the kids I run across every day, the young people, and I'm 70, so young to me is like 50 and under, and they're tired. And so, what do we do? What can we do that's reasonable? So this is a beet, this is a grater. And when I work on these, and it usually takes 4 small beets or 2 large beets, but when I'm grating these down, I thought I could just put them in a food processor, but this is exercise. And the thing is, cleaning your house or cooking, you can make that into part of your exercise regimen. So I grated these earlier. These are what shredded beets look like. And now we're gonna take them and add them in here. This lasts about a week for one person. I try to do this maybe once every day or every other day. And so you can see this is starting to cook up pretty fast. You can add salt and pepper to taste. There are a million recipes for beet soup, by the way. This is more like a borscht that I remember as a child. I actually used bone broth because I wanted the protein levels to be higher, and we don't have any meat in this. And you can use vegetable bone broth, but I used chicken. So we're gonna let this cook for a little bit, and then we'll be back. Okay, back to the beet soup. Now that it's had a chance to cook, it smells wonderful, and let's just add a little bit more to this bowl right here. A lot of recipes that I looked up use sour cream sour cream, but we're going to use creme fraiche today. And just as a little difference. And let's see how it tastes. It smells good. It's pretty good. I know you're thinking in your head, excuse me, I'll never eat beet soup, but you might want to try this because beets are a serious energy boost, and we all need a brain boost here and there too.